Welcome to week 3 of September. Hope you're having a great week. Just still excited for all the work that you guys are doing every Sunday, and this past Sunday was no exception. If you happen to miss it, just wanted to reiterate and kind of introduce. Well, I don't know if this is introducing since he's not here, but we have a kind of a cool opportunity that's happening for the ministry right now over the next school year, and that is that Joel Anderson has joined us. If you are not from the 11:30, you may not know him, but he will be joining us every Sunday morning at the 8:30 and 10 o'clock, as well as the 11:30, but in 4:15 at the 11:30. That's where he teaches usually there. And he's going to be interning, which means he's going to be spending the next year learning mostly from Jeremy and from all y'all and me about the kids ministry and kind of exploring whether or not being in the ministry vocationally is what he wants to do in the future. So really excited for that. If you think about him, pray for him, and if you haven't met him yet, go ahead and introduce yourself this Sunday. You'll see him probably following me around, and then he'll also be spending some time in the second and third grade classroom. And you know what? That reminds me, I wasn't even going to talk about this, but I just remembered. I just wanted to let you guys know that if something happens in the class and, I need to be aware of it really quickly, please don't hesitate to give me a call, especially at the 8:30, which is when Brianna and I usually attend church. For whatever reason, inside our church building, sometimes I have a terrible signal. And so, unless you have an iPhone and you're sending me an iMessage, I may not get your text message for a long time. So, yeah, I mean, that's up to you. If you think it's worth calling me, by all means do. Or if you text me and I don't respond within 5 minutes, like that's a long time for me to not respond because I literally, when I go into church, I have my phone sitting there on my lap so I can see everything that comes through so I can be there for you. So if you have an incident happen and you need to contact me quickly, please do not hesitate to call, text, whatever you got to do. And if you need my number, I'll give that to you on Sunday. So just a couple of announcements here. Again, the reason that I'm doing these videos is because we don't always have we always don't have enough time to do this kind of stuff on a Sunday morning in our huddles anymore. It's hard to get, all this material in 10 minutes and do prayer requests and all that stuff. And so I really want to focus on us being able to get to know each other and praying during those 10, 15 minutes we have and get the announcements out of the way via these videos. So if you haven't been there for the huddles, we do those at 8 o'clock, at 9:30, and at 10 o'clock. Sorry, 11 o'clock. Man, so 8 o'clock, 9:30, and 11 o'clock is when we do our huddles, and that's a time for us to get together and to pray. And now, especially that 4:15 is no longer under my wing or whatever. It makes it a lot easier for me to actually be there for the huddles, and it's hard for me to ask you to be at something that I end up late to all the time. So, if you haven't been able to make it, love to see you there. That's a great time for us to get to know each other, get to know the people that you're serving with, and for us to pray together and to be able to just know more about what's going on in each other's lives. So wanted to bring that up. And also on the 21st this month, you should have gotten an email. Craziest thing happened. We switched our databases at the well. And of course, we sent out our invite right when that switch was happening. And so some people got the invite, the other half, it never ever sent. And so we didn't realize this until this week that is what had happened. So if you hadn't gotten the chance, I emailed it out again within the last couple days. Take a look at it, RSVP, and let us know. Dinner will be provided. Childcare is going to be provided. And we're going to spend some time talking about small groups and why small groups are important. We're going to have Mikey and Joel, both of them who served in 415 and have seen small groups work in a big way with the fourth and fifth graders. We're going to kind of cast vision about how that can work for kinder through third grade. And I saw it firsthand over the past year So that's the ministry that we're trying to shoot for, small groups, and we have a lot of building to do. We have a huge volunteer need to get there. But that's what we're going to be talking about in our little breakout session on the 21st. So again, that leader kickoff, it is September 21st. It's a Saturday. There's an air show happening in Lemoore that day, so I'm pretty sure I'm going to the air show and then I'm coming to the leader kickoff. So if you're headed to the air show, let me know. I'm still trying to decide if I'm going Saturday and then the kickoff or going late after church on Sunday. But anyway, air show, leader kickoff. There you go. Also, we kind of got away from it in the past year, but I want to invite you to download the Lead Small app. I know what you're thinking, but we don't even use the Lead Small app. I honestly have not been a huge fan of the app, but they have updated it a little bit, made it a little bit better. And here's some like basic things you need to know about the app, like as of right now, and I'll give you more details in the future. But I would say for right now, download the app. See if you can get into the Well Community Church settings of it. If you download the app, you create an account, go into settings, and you should see a thing right when you click on settings that says the Well Community Church. Click on that. If you don't see anything that says the Well Community Church, send me an email and then I'll have to give you access to it. Once you do, you'll see all the content that I send out to you on, Tuesday or Thursday. You'll see that every Monday morning. There's devotionals. In fact, I want to show you a little piece of that devotional. It says, has there been a time in your life when everything changed, when a routine checkup or a knock at the door or a phone call turned your whole world upside down? Joseph had more than his fair share of those moments. Cast off by his brothers, imprisoned as an innocent man, and left to rot in an Egyptian jail, Joseph seemed done for. Even still, Joseph continued to trust that God was in control and that he was with him. And we can too. Even in the midst of lowest lows, God is right there with us. He will never leave us. As you prepare to lead your kids this week, ask God to help you trust him more and more each day. And remember, when life doesn't make sense, you can trust God is with you. So that's pretty cool. It's a nice little resource. And I honestly this week have become like a new big fan of Lead Small and all the things that they have to offer, which reminds me, if you're watching this, you have seen that my emails have changed a little bit, and that's because of another resource that Lead Small is offering. And I want to show you guys that a little bit and kind of explain it, even though you've already seen this at this point. I wanted to just kind of walk you through like what you're looking at. So you'll notice that these emails change a little bit. These in the next coming, let's say week or so, I'm going to be transferring over my emails to a service called MailChimp. And you may have never heard of that. It doesn't really mean a whole lot for you other than it may look a little bit different when it comes to you, or it might, when I initially do this, they might start coming to your junk mail folder. So for the next couple weeks, I will send them the way that I have normally, just from my email, while we kind of re-update our, let's just call it a database. And so be on the lookout for that. So if you're looking at this is similar to the email that you got today, and where it says "say this," it says, when life doesn't make sense, you can trust God is with you. That's our bottom line, right? That's the thing that we're going to be teaching each week. Over here, obviously, the Bible references to our story and what we're talking about. And cool thing that I like is this part right here. It says "Get your small group guide." That is a button that you can click on as long as I've done everything correctly. You click on that, that's going to take you directly to Google Drive, where the content for the entire month is going to be there. So for these next couple weeks, for the rest of September, I will continue to send out the curriculum on a weekly basis. But starting in October, this is how you're going to get to your curriculum. Every week, you'll get this email. You'll click on this link. That's going to take you to the curriculum. Of course, right here, this is where my weekly update to you is going to appear. And something that is really cool is every week there's a resource that they give us. And the resource of the week this week is a cool little Bible reading plan on the Bible app. So if you don't have the Bible app, that's okay. You can do the plan, I think, even on your browser on your phone, it'll work. But if you do have the Bible app and you click on Start Plan, it's going to take you right to your Bible app on your phone, and you'll be able to start this cool reading plan from Lead Small that is teaching us how to lead like Jesus. Principles for small group leaders. So I just wanted to kind of clue you into that. I think it's pretty cool. And like I said, my emails to you are going to start looking a little bit different. And so don't be alarmed. Just know that it's still me. It's not a robot sending you the emails. It's still me, just a little bit different format. I think it looks cooler. I think it's fun and gives us both just information that helps both of us. I also wanted to kind of just put in your ear. We'll talk more about this in the future. The Parent Cue app. So if you're a parent, first off, you're definitely going to want to download this app, the Parent Cue app, CUE, Parent Cue, as in other words, like they're cueing you on how to be a parent. Anyway, it's a really cool app. I don't have any kids, but I downloaded it, looked at it. I made up a fake kid so that it would show me what it looked like if I had a kid. And it's going to deliver content to parents every single week that goes along with the stories that we're teaching. It even gives you the opportunity to watch the Bible story video from that week. And it allows you to, like, as a parent, keep thinking about with your kids the Bible stories that we're talking about every week. Makes it to where, the 1 hour a week we get with the kids gets expanded into multiple hours that parents get to spend talking about the Bible with their kids. The great thing about it is that you can set reminders for you to, bring these things up, and it's got devotionals, and it's really cool. And I think we've been underutilizing these apps and stuff for quite some time. There's like that inside crowd who, like, just, in kids ministry, there's parents who are like, they're the ones who are engaged. They got every one of these little things, but that's very few parents. The majority of them don't even know about these things. And so we're trying to create ways to get people better connected to these things and whatnot. And on top of that, also, I'm kind of in the works now that I know that these resources are here. I'm considering options such as making a Facebook group for us to communicate in, maybe even like an Instagram or Twitter account with these resources that we're able to read and watch every week. So I'm still kind of exploring that. Be on the lookout for those things. And as far as announcements go, final announcement for you. I know how you've loved all of these. The launch starts tonight, Wednesday. It's going to be every Wednesday from now until October 9th at the Clovis campus. Where's the Clovis campus, Aaron? The Clovis campus is our new property on Nees and Minnewawa. Or if you type it in on Google, the corner of Perfect and Perfect, that's not going to lead you anywhere. So it's on Nees and Minnewawa, right across from the Giant Stadium. And what the launch is, if you haven't heard about it, this is a really cool thing. So, like, if you haven't listened to anything from the last 13 minutes, listen to this. Are you looking for a life group? If you are, the launch is something you're going to want to go to. It's basically like a speed dating type thing for life groups. And I know it sounds really awkward, and I think it might be kind of with some of it. But if you're looking for a life group, this is where I'm telling you, boom, go find a life group. It's going to be here at the launch. And like the general overall, or like if I was going to give you like a quick rundown of it, basically you go, I think there's food provided. I know there's childcare provided if you sign up ahead of time. And you kind of test the waters with the life group. And if you love it, come back next week. Keep coming. If you don't like it, then try a different group next week. And so, yeah, just want to encourage you to check that out if you get the chance. So this week, real quick, we're talking about Joseph and Potiphar's wife. And if you're like me, you're wondering at this point, like maybe some of our kids are, when is anything going to ever turn out for Joseph? I mean, this guy just keeps getting, curveball after curveball thrown to him. He's swinging and missing. When is this ever going to turn out? Well, we'll get there. But this week, we're talking about the infamous story of Joseph and Potiphar's wife. And if you've never heard it before, here's the Reader's Digest Aaron version of it. Joseph gets put in the king's palace. He's working for the king. And Potiphar's wife has got the hots for Joseph. Here's the thing, though. It's Potiphar's wife. Joseph doesn't want to go against what God says. And so he refuses. He flees temptation, just like the Bible says, flee temptation. And he ends up basically getting falsely accused and arrested. Now, we tell this story amongst adults, and I don't think we even, bat an eye towards it. But how do we teach this story to children? That's what I've been wondering also. And I've kind of come down to what I've realized is if I were to teach it this Sunday, what I would do is relate it towards other stories in the Bible or other situations in real life. And we're obviously not going to tell kids all the details of what happened between Potiphar and Joseph's wife and what she wanted and all that. But I'm reminded of the story of the serpent and Eve in the Garden of Eden. It's about temptation and fleeing temptation and not knowing what to do. Maybe relate it to a friend or a brother or sister saying, "Hey man, you wanna do some sinning?" And you gotta flee. You gotta flee that temptation. That's the kind of stuff I would talk about. And then after that, he gets falsely accused, thrown in jail. He's like, "What in the world, God? I did what I thought you said was right. I didn't sin, and yet you have me here in jail." Well, and then Joseph has this wonderful gift of interpreting people's dreams, and he thinks, okay, great. This is what's going to get me out of jail. I'm interpreting these dreams. This is going to be great. And still, nothing. He gets nothing. And so he's just sitting there in jail. And what does he know? He knows that this doesn't make sense. But that's our bottom line for this week. When life doesn't make sense, you can trust that God is with you. So hopefully that helped you out. Sorry this was a longer one today with a lot of announcements and whatnot. I want to leave you with this. Here's the first thing. We are on a mission this school year, by the end of this school year, to have real small groups in kinder through third. We kind of know how we want to do it, but the one thing we know for sure is that we don't have enough people to do it. Each and every one of you is a gift. And I'm reminded almost every week about where, Jesus said, the harvest is plentiful, but the laborers are few. So pray to the Lord of the harvest that he might bring more laborers into the field. That's what we got to be doing every single week, every day, if you think about it. Because we've got plenty of kids, but we don't have a lot of adults who are willing to give up an hour of their week to impact the lives of these children. So keep praying for that God would bring more people into our ministry. And the last thing, I'll leave you on a laugh. I don't know if I got the chance to tell many of you this on Sunday. But interesting thing happened on Sunday. Joel and I, who I was talking to you about earlier, were setting things up before the 8:30 service. And we walk out to the check-in area, open it up, get the computers ready, walk back to the resource room, and then walk back outside again to the check-in area. And then all of a sudden this happened. The covering, just like the curtain in the temple, had torn from top to bottom. Within 2 minutes. There was not very much time that had gone by between when this happened. And so, I don't know what the main point of this is. I guess, it didn't make sense to me. Maybe that's the whole point. When life doesn't make sense, you can trust that God is with you. Thank you guys so much. Thank you for hanging in there. Hope you have a great rest of your week, and I will see you on Sunday.